How do you reflect on the win last week in the Challenge Cup at West Hull?
Oh, listen, I thought it was a real good performance. Going over there on the way there, we were a little bit anxious after the day before when four teams in our league got beat by community clubs, and naturally you think a community or a club from Hull would be very, very strong. So, we were apprehensive. It was a bit quiet, and we were nervous. So, but I tell you, credit to West Hull. They looked after us really, really well. Credit to the players that played that game for them. Even when the scoreline ran away a bit there, they carried on playing rugby, and so they're a credit to their club. And I'd just like to go on record and thank West Hull for the way they treated us.
And what do you make to the subsequent draw away at Hunslet?
Oh, listen, that could have been worse. Team in our league, be another real tough game. I think they had a big win against Barrow, and so we know what to expect. It's always tough at Hunslet, but we could have went and travelled to Cumbria. So we can't moan. Anyone in Challenge Cup just wants a home draw. We haven't got that, so we know it's going to be a real tough game, and it's one we look forward to.
What have you learned off the two cup games? Firstly, the iPro Cup, and then the Challenge Cup, and how they set you up for this season opener.
Oh, we've learned quite a bit. We've got quite a decent set of players we've put together. So, and they're all. We can only pick 17 players. Well, the coaching staff can only pick 17 players. But one thing it's told us, even in the friendlies, every game we've played, we've been competitive. Now, from the start, we've always gone out with the statement we were going to put a competitive side together. That's all we ask. Everything else should take care of itself. But what we have learned is we've got a decent looking side.
And what will the crowd on Sunday, what will they see differently at the start of this season from the end of last season?
Well, listen, the end of last season we were still having to go, and we were just too far away. What they'll see differently, I think, what's happened in the friendlies and the couple of cup games is a bit of confidence. The players have got some confidence, but they've also, got a pride, and they've also got proud in the shirt. So a bit of pride in the shirt, sorry. And they're hungry. They're fit. A big part of this game's fitness. They're very fit. They were doing things in the 75th minute at West Hull that they were doing in the first minute, and that's the big boys as well. So, the way they defended their try line when they could have easily, thought, well, we're well ahead, we're not going to lose. The desire to hold them out, I don't care if it's an amateur side or a Super League side, was great. So we've got some players here very, very hungry and want to make a name for themselves, and a majority of them have got aspirations of playing Super League. So, if they can do the business, and they, everyone's watching them, so we know what we've got to do, and they're a good bunch. They're a real good bunch, and to be fair, I think Carl Keswick said it. They've come together pretty quickly, which is hard to do when you've got 20 players. He says it was like being back at school for the first day. You didn't know each other and all that, but they've really come together quick. I think that had something to do with the pre-season camp, but they're all enjoying themselves, and it's going to be hard because you can, like I said earlier, you can only pick 17 players, and we want them all to stay focused and all to stay on it, and not, if they don't get picked, we expect them to be disappointed, but just to stay positive.
University of Gloucestershire All Golds on Sunday then, as the season out. Before we come to the team, what about them as a club? They're trying to expand rugby league across the country, away from the heartland or in different parts, and they're a prime example of that.
Oh, listen, yeah, and I was all in favour. If we want to be brutally honest, what happened last weekend, surely that's got to send some alarm bells ringing in the game. Have we tried to expand too quick when you've got the amount of League One clubs that lost last week? It's got to be looked into. It shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. Now, what do you do about it? I don't know, because I believe the game needs to expand. But have we gone at it too quick instead of bringing one or two in and making them strong sides, and then look at bringing someone. And so we just dropped all these in straight away, and as it showed last week, there's some conference teams who are ahead of us.
Will it help this season, on a side note from that all the attention will be on Toulouse kind of this season in League One?
Oh yeah, well, who Toulouse are going to be full time and they're going to go all right, but is it all going to be on them? I wouldn't think so. Keighley, York, Hunslet, ourselves, I think we'll all have something to say about that. Barrow, all it is they've been in the league before, so we know what they're about. Very, very good at home. They'll be tested when they travel, as they were last week against the conference side. So we'll see. But going back to Gloucester, I think they've improved.
Well, they're no mugs. They ran. They beat North Wales, who ran the Dons Close the other week in the iPro. So
and that should set our alarm bells ringing. That I genuinely thought that North Wales side was pretty good. It was the same North Wales side who put 40 points on us the year before when we were in Championship, or near us, damn it. So I thought they looked real good with the ball. I thought they were a decent side, and for me, that Gloucester going to their patch and beating them, I was quietly comfortable and happy that we've got North Wales Crusaders again at home. I wouldn't have really liked to go to their ground because I genuinely thought they looked a real decent side. So that tells us Gloucester are going to be pretty good. And to score 40 points away from home, they're doing something right.
Bit of housekeeping. How are we looking season ticket wise out of the new season?
Oh, listen, season ticket. I said earlier, we're really proud of the season ticket sales. This is the last week before we start the league campaign that to get your season ticket, we've got, I think it's 25% or a little bit more of brand new season ticket holders, which is phenomenal for any club. One other thing, I was asked a question, obviously with no questions this week because Jordan's away. But if you've emailed your questions, then he'll get around to them when he gets back. But one question last week was the car parking issues with Car Park 1, and I said I'd look into it. I've done that. If you're disabled and you want a parking closer to the east stand, you can contact the ticket office and get a car park in the inner ring, which will take you straight to the east stand doors. If you do want to park in Car Park 1 for the season, you can go to the ticket office and purchase a season ticket to park in Car Park 1 and your name will be on the list. It's just that Car Park 2 is the cash car park. So last year we had Sheffield here, and that was the corporate and the hospitality and the sponsors and all that in Car Park 1. But the options are you can purchase a ticket for the season, or a car park pass for the season in Car Park 1. If you're a disabled holder, you can purchase a season ticket for the car park in the inner ring, and that'll be right outside the east stand. So hopefully that helps everyone. And
before we go, a quick change in sports to boxing, and a word on Gavin McDonnell.
Oh, listen, mate. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of Jamie and Gavin. The boys are a credit to themselves. They're a real credit to our town and Donnie. Gavin done us all proud, as Jamie does always when he fights. And win or lose, the boys deserve everything they get because they're smashing lads. And I've watched Jamie for years and years and years, and Gavin is just getting better and better every time he fights. He was impressive again on the weekend, and he was impressive in his last fight. But those two boys, we're all behind them at Donny Rugby League, and they know that. They try to make it to a couple of our games every year, and we have fun. They're always in contact with us. They wear our shirts a hell of a lot in their build up to their fights, which we appreciate. But congratulations to Gav. We're all really proud of him, and hopefully the town's proud of him. And I've been sick of saying this, but the town should really make something of the two boys. And Jason Cunningham, I went to watch him on the weekend at the Dome, and he won the England title. So boxing and Donny's flying. and we need people to make note of it, and you know, to have world champions in our town is phenomenal, and it's not just I think that, you know, it's only me saying this, but the town's got to do something for those boys, because they work really hard, and you know, they're putting Doncaster on the map, and we hope to follow in their footsteps in the rugby this year, you know, but they're great blokes.